Welcome to another day of the 30-day challenge. Today I'm excited about doing a sequence that's going to lead up to Hanumanasana, which is the splits. And the reason I thought of this sequence is because my 8-year-old daughter has been trying to do the splits, and I keep telling her, you can't do the splits before you warm up. And I really believe that. And so I designed a sequence to well prepare us to maybe not do the full splits, but to do as much of it as you can safely. So that's what we're going to do today. So we'll begin at the top of our mats, joining the legs and feet, and just taking a couple moments to connect with your breath, with the here and now moment. The mind is a time traveler, so giving yourself enough time to drop into a state of presence. Finding the outer body firmness of mountain pose, which brings a sense of inner spaciousness. Maybe here inviting an intention for your practice, your day, your week, yourself, someone around you, the world at large. It's up to you. And if nothing comes, just leaving a space open in the heart. Let's join the hands in front of the heart, open the eyes. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bow deeply. Inhale, step back with your right foot. Exhale, step back with your left foot and come into downward facing dog. Inhale, move forward, place the knees, sit back, and enjoy a couple breaths in child's pose. Inhale onto your chest and belly, opening up for cobra pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raising the right leg. Exhale, stepping the right foot through. Pivot and ground your left foot. Straighten both legs. Take hold of the hips and come up. The first piece of the sequence we're going to do is Parsvottanasana, which is the intense side stretching pose. This one I've put in to the sequence because of the importance of hip compactness and stability. So what you're trying to think of is you have a big rubber band around your hips. You're also attempting to align the hips right and left so they're even, like there's headlights on your hips. They're evenly pointing forward. Raise the arms. And on an exhale, bow forward and take your hands either to your blocks or to the floor. But you're going to evenly place the hands around the right foot. Look forward again, draw an in-breath here. Exhale, bow deeply toward the right leg, aligning the chest with the right leg. Squeezing the outer right hip bone in toward midline. Clamping the feet toward each other. And shifting weight from the right to the left to equalize the asymmetry of your feet. Five more breaths. After this exhalation, look forward. You can move your blocks aside and step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release the arms. Preparing for second side, inhale, hands to the heart center. Raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Again, touching the floor or the shins. Inhale, step back with the left foot. Exhale, step back with the right foot. Coming into downward facing dog. Inhale forward and place your knees, sit back for child's pose. Taking a couple deep exhalations, inviting the sacrum away from the skull. Gliding forward with the chin and chest close to the mat, open up to cobra pose. Exhale, release cobra pose, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your left leg, and exhale, step through. Pivot and ground your right foot. Place the blocks if you're going to use them and come all the way up. Take your hips and turn them like a steering wheel. So the right hip comes forward, the left hip rolls back. Raise the arms. Come forward, aligning the chest with the left leg and placing the hands evenly alongside the left foot. Keep rolling your outer left hip back, moving the left hip bone to midline, and clamping the feet toward one another. So of course, this addresses the hip compaction that we need for the full splits, but it's also helping wake up the back of the front leg quite a bit, which is a big piece of that pose. 5 more breaths. After the exhalation, look forward, pivot off the back foot and step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, raise the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release the arms, you're back in Tadasana, staying for a couple breaths. Use your shoulder blades to support the lift and spread of your chest. The next segment that we're going to work with in the splits pose is the back bending element, and we're going to use Warrior One as a way to prepare for that. So we can inhale here, hands to the heart center, and then raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step back with right foot. Exhale, step back with left foot, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank position. Exhale to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, releasing that, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step through. Pivot and ground the back heel. Keep the right knee bent above the ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Move the tailbone in to keep the lower back long. Lift and spread your chest. Find the back bend really in the upper spine. And here we have a big opportunity to open the front of the back leg, which is another big element of Hanumanasana. Keep extending through the fingernails, but keep the shoulders really plugged into the torso. Pivot off your back heel. Come to the top of an in-breath. Exhale, fold forward, touch the floor. Inhale, stepping the left foot to meet the right. Bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Release the arms. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step back left foot. Exhale, step back right foot. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank position. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, step through. We want the knee right above the ankle, grounding your right foot. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, Virabhadrasana 1. Really extend the back leg. Yawning open the front of the right hip flexor. So that's really going to be supported by taking the tailbone into the body. Lift and spread your chest. As you slightly look up, try to keep the back of the neck long. Fully extend the arms. And attempt to bring the outer right foot to the floor, restoring the lifted arch of the inner right foot. Pivot off the back heel. Come to the top of an in-breath. Exhale, hinging forward, touching down, and then stepping the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release your arms, join your legs and feet. Dropping into mountain pose, a couple breaths. Drop the shoulders away from your earlobes. And try not to get in the way of the breath. Let those big, loud, fast breaths come and go until you find they're smooth and steady again. Next piece we're going to work on is Trianga, Mukha Ikapada Paschimottanasana, very long name for a pose. Essentially, we're going to be working with the back of the front leg here. So it's a forward bend. That's all I'm going to say about that. Actually, have some props nearby. You'll want to have a block and a blanket nearby. We'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step back, right foot, left foot into downward facing dog. Next, inhale, move forward, come through Chaturanga Dandasana, and then come into a back bend cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg. Exhale, step through. You're going to be lowering the left knee onto the floor. And we're going to be sitting into hero pose on our left leg and propping the right buttock with a block or blanket. So the left leg is in hero pose, meaning your shin is underneath you, your left heel is outside the outer left hip, your knees are joined, and whatever you're propping the right buttock with, you should feel your hips are level. What we don't want to see is that we're collapsing over to the right side here. So raise the right hip enough that you have the height to level the hips. We're going to be reaching forward for the foot. If you find that you can't reach your foot, this is where a strap might be useful to connect with your foot. So you might want to just reach forward, see if that's available to you, and if not, you can grab hold of the foot with the strap. If you aren't working with the strap, you can raise the arms. Otherwise, you're holding the strap on your foot. Try to equalize the balance of the pose by gripping the floor with your left toenails. Come into a nice tall inhale here, and on your exhale, hinge forward and grab for the foot, or pull your hands closer along the strap toward the foot. Pull back on the strap or the foot. Try to bring your chest forward. And on an exhalation, wing out the elbows and bow deeply over the right leg. Remembering we're trying to really open the back of the front leg here. When we open the back of the leg, we always want to feel it in the belly of the muscle. If you're feeling it behind the knee or ankle, that's the attachment points. That's a dangerous kind of level of stretch. You want to back off. So belly of the calf muscle, belly of the hamstrings. 4 more breaths. Coming through the exhalation, inhale, look forward. Unprop your right buttock. Hinging forward with your weight. You're going to shoot that right leg back up into the sky. Go ahead and step the right foot forward now. Step the left foot forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Release the arms. Just receive a couple breaths. Bringing the hands to prayer, raising the arms, exhale, folding forward. Inhale, step back, left foot, right foot, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, plank position, move through Chaturanga Dandasana, opening the chest for cobra or upward dog. Finding downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, stepping the right left foot forward and lowering the right knee. You're going to come into right-sided hero leg and a straight left leg. So you're propping the left buttock. For me, a block is a perfect amount of height. For you, it might be less, might be a blanket, might be something additional to the block, like a blanket over the block. Again, what you're looking for is those level hip points. Knees are together. Right heel is right outside the hip bone. Your toes are gripping the floor, toenails are gripping the floor. If you can reach the foot, great. You'll work without a strap, otherwise belting the bottom of the foot here. Raise the arms if you're not using a strap. On the exhalation, lengthen forward, grabbing the inner and outer foot or pulling back on those 2 strap pieces. Try to move the shoulder blades into the chest. Next exhale, bowing deeply, lifting the elbows, spreading them wide, keeping the chest lifted and spread, and equalizing gravity, shifting weight to those right toes, because there is a tendency to fall toward the straight leg side. So gripping the weight not only with the toes, but also the shin of the right leg. Giving your breath to the back of this left leg, to the heart of the calf muscle, the heart of the hamstrings. Two more breaths. Inhale, releasing the pose. You'll shift your weight forward. You can slide your propping out of the way. Come onto the sole of the left foot. Curl the right toes underneath. Good. Step back into downward facing dog. And then bring yourself to the top of the mat. Raise the arms. Hands to the heart. Release the arms and just accepting the next couple of breaths as they come through. However they're showing up, loud, crashing, fast, maybe panting, whatever it is, just be a container for your breath. Awesome. So that pose that we just did, Trianga Mukha Eka Pada Paschimottanasana, addressed the back of the front leg. The next pose we're going to do, Anjaneyasana, addresses the front of the back leg in our splits. So we're going to come into that now, inhaling the arms up, exhale, folding forward, taking the feet back, right foot, left foot into downward facing dog. Inhale, finding your way into a back bend. Exhale, returning to downward facing dog. Inhale, you're going to raise the right leg. And exhale, step the right foot underneath the knee. Lower the left knee. And I do welcome you to put a blanket underneath the left knee. And bring yourself to a nice upright position here. Squeezing the elbows in behind you will help you broaden and lift your chest. Use the thumbs to push the tailbone into the body, encouraging that pelvic tilt that we need to have a safe and healthy back bend. And on an exhalation, shift your weight forward, but imagine you have a book on your head. So we're not trying to shift our weight forward and tilt the torso. Shift your weight forward like you have a book on your head, you're trying to keep it there. Keep hugging those elbows in together, looking straight ahead, and just welcoming this big, yawning, open experience to the left hip flexor. To encourage the opening, we're going to extend the left arm up alongside the ear. Biceps is right outside the ear. So let the beautiful crescent shape that begins at your left knee exit through your left fingertips. Direct that sweeping arc of beautiful energy from the knee out through the fingertips. Nice. On an inhale, pull back to release that deep stretch. We're going to place the hands, curl those left toes underneath, lift the knee, move your blanket out of the way. We'll be stepping the left foot to meet the right. So finding a little momentum, you can kind of push back into your toes there and spring forward. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, hands to the heart. And release the arms, Tadasana, mountain pose. So this is a guided practice, but of course, I welcome you to stay as long as you need to kind of realign with your breath. If your breath escapes you or gets ragged or ruffled, stay as long as you need to in Tadasana to recover the breath that is best for you. And we'll come into the second side of Anjaneyasana. Hands to prayer. Urdhva Hastasana, upward hand pose. Exhale, Uttanasana. Stepping back, left foot, right foot, downward facing dog. Inhaling through plank chaturanga into a back bend. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. Inhale to raise the left leg and exhale to step through. We're going to be lowering the right knee, and I do again suggest a little bit of padding. We wouldn't want to limit the pose just because the knee is complaining. So you're setting yourself up for success when you pad the knee. And you can bring your torso upright. Take your hands onto your hips. Squeeze the elbows in, lift and spread the chest. And then shift your weight forward until you find that opening, that first edge in your body. Give it some breath. As you continue to open, try to move forward in a way that the torso remains upright. Might be different on this side, so just welcoming what is here, what is showing up for you. And then we'll encourage this arc by extending the right arm up alongside the right ear, reaching out through the fingertips, taking the biceps back behind the ear a bit, and just really finding that beautiful open front body here. You're going to use an inhale to help you pull back. Place the hand. You're going to be curling right toes under, lifting the knee off the floor, moving the blanket aside. And then again, find some weight in your right foot so you can step it forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Come into Tadasana. And just being with the breath. Finding the plumb line, the upward moving line of energy along the spine. Everything peripheral to the spine has some sort of gravity. Okay, so our last sequence, which will include Hanumanasana, the full splits, but like I said, it's going to be very metered so that you can adjust and set it up in a safe way and be in as deep or as shallow as you want to be. So I'm going to have you place your blocks to your side, kind of side and center of the mat. And then I'm also going to have you take a blanket, and I don't want it on the mat. We want to use the blanket to slide on. And I know some of you are probably working with carpet, so that won't be as slippery, but hopefully the effect will be somewhat the same. The blanket will be out in front of your mat, whichever end you're facing. And we'll come into our last vinyasa sequence here, which will include that Hanumanasana. So from the top of your mat, bringing your hands together in front of your heart. And then inhale to raise the arms. Exhale to fold forward. Stepping back, right foot, left foot into a downward facing dog. Inhaling to a plank, chaturanga. You can always lower your knees there if you need to. And then a back bend, cobra, upward dog. Turning the toes back underneath for downward facing dog. Inhale to raise the right leg. And exhale to step through. You can lower the left knee here. We're not going to be on the knee very long, so you don't need to go and find padding for the knee. But what I want you to do is kind of walk yourself forward so that you can get your foot onto the blanket in front of you. Bring your blocks along with you so they're right out to the sides. And hopefully you can kneel with the left knee and put the right foot on the blanket. So the first thing you're going to do, your right foot's on the blanket, you're going to grab those blocks and have them somewhat on the sticky mat so they're not sliding around. And shift your weight forward. Curl the left toes under and step the knee back, and then you can be back on the top of the foot. Bring your hands onto your fingertips so that you're on the blocks and your torso is elevated. And then use the sliding blanket and just kind of push it out in front of you so you can get your leg to extend completely. And this is how we work and kind of try to start feeling the shape of the pose without the full overload or overwhelm of the pose, which can feel really overwhelming, and that's never a good idea for the body. So you can come out of it, pulling the heel back, maybe resting momentarily in Anjaneyasana. You might also start to play with adjusting the left knee back farther. You can try again to push the blanket forward. And as you can see, I'm not trying to lean over my leg here. It's very much like on Asana. We want to keep the torso upright. The blocks are keeping me at a safe distance from the floor so that I'm not getting in too far, too deep, too soon. Okay, pull back one more time. You might adjust the left knee back for this final attempt. You might just attempt where you are already if it's a good edge for you. So go ahead and find that last kind of starting position, pushing the right heel forward, trying to roll the shoulders back, breathing into whatever you've got. And then sliding the heel back, bring the foot onto your mat, curl the left toes underneath, find some weight in your left toes, and step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, hands to prayer. Go ahead and release your arms. Pause here for a couple seconds to witness, to drop into your breathing, to sense the body. Our minds are so powerful, they constantly try to override. So always taking time to really see what is happening physically, as far as breathing, mentally. Are you in your practice? Are you kind of pushing the practice with your ego? And then for the last sequence, last side, hands to prayer. Raise the arms, bow deeply. Step back, left foot, right foot. Downward dog. Plank, chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. Inhale, raising the left leg, and exhale, stepping through. Almost to the top of that mat. Lower the right knee. And I didn't mean to dissuade you if you would like padding for your grounded knee. Totally up to you. I just know that we don't have 1,000 props at home all the time. And we are using that blanket ahead of us. But do feel free to pad the knee if you need to. So we're going to begin by just kind of getting the foot first, the left foot onto the blanket so we can slide. Taking our weight forward so that we can curl the right toes under and take the knee back. Be on the top of the foot again. Sitting forward, getting the torso upright, calling upon the front right thigh, and then beginning the first attempt, pushing the blanket forward, attempting to straighten the leg. Shoulders back. Good, draw it back. Pause, maybe adjust your right leg farther back if you want to go in a bit deeper this time. And it shouldn't be about want, actually. It's if the body is ready and asking for that. You can always adjust the height of your blocks too. If you feel a little bit too close to the floor, like you're in too deep, you can prop up the blocks. Next attempt here. Coming back. I lost my blanket, but I can actually slide pretty well on the floor without the blanket, so I'm not going to worry about it. I might adjust my right knee back again for this last attempt. And here we go, last attempt. Sliding the left foot forward, keeping the torso upright, taking the tailbone into the body. All the actions we learned, hip compaction, breath, back of the front leg, front of the back leg, hip stability and alignment. Are the hip points evenly facing the top of your mat? Go ahead and pull back by pressing into your blocks. Curl your right toes under, extend the leg, and spring forward. Raise the arms, hands to the heart. Release the arms. Couple quiet moments here. Once your breath is smooth and even, you can find your way onto your back, putting yourself in final resting pose. Letting the feet separate wider than your hips. Letting the arms extend away from the sides of the trunk, palms up. And once you're in the alignment of the pose, start to scan your body, Sometimes I imagine it's like turning all the lights off in the house before you go to bed. Just inviting all of the areas from the head to the feet to surrender, to power down. Your body breathing by itself. Each exhale, an invitation to drop deeper into the floor. Each inhale, a chance to soften. Notice where you're holding back. There's a thin layer of tension between your body and the floor. Break through that layer, merge your body with the floor. Staying longer if you'd like. Otherwise, starting to gently bring yourself out of the pose without any excessive effort, just what you need. Finding your way to seated. From seated, taking a moment to align yourself and then join the hands in front of the heart. Take a moment to soften the face and lift the corners of the mouth, inhaling a breath of gratitude. From the place within me that I know to be divine, I honor that place within each of you. Namaste.